Hello students. In the previous session we discussed about Bohr's model of an atom. According to Bohr's model of an atom, whenever electron jumps from lower energy level to higher energy level, it gains energy. Whenever it jumps from higher energy level to lower energy level, it gives out energy in the form of emission line. When this emission line was observed with a high intensity spectroscope, they have seen that high resolution spectroscope. It was observed that the emission line contained further fine lines. So what is the reason for this fine lines is explained by Bohr-Sommerfeld model. In Bohr-Sommerfeld model, you have orbits around the nucleus, but from second orbit onwards, it has further elliptical orbits. This is one elliptical orbit. From third orbit has got two elliptical orbits. Fourth orbit has got three elliptical orbits in which the electron moves. Because of this because the electron is also moving in the elliptical orbits, Bohr-Sommerfeld said that the emission line has further small lines in it. But this was true only till hydrogen atom. This could explain only till this could give a satisfactory explanation only till hydrogen atom. For the atoms having more electrons, this model could not give a satisfactory explanation. Further, why Bohr-Sommerfeld has introduced elliptical orbits is periodic motion with a central force gives rise to elliptical orbits. This is the reason they have introduced elliptical orbits, but this could not explain the emission lines for higher that is the atoms having more than one electron. So this model failed. Next model that you have is quantum mechanical model of an atom. Before going to this quantum mechanical model of an atom, is it possible to find the position and velocity of electron simultaneously? Now, if the electron is revolving in definite orbits, then we should be able to answer two questions. One is we should be able to tell the position of an electron. At the same time, we should be able to tell the velocity of an electron. Now, you know that electron is invisible to the naked eye. So, to find some dark objects in the dark room, if you want to find any objects, you need a torchlight. Similarly, in order to observe this electron, we need a light of very short wavelength which can be bombarded on the electron. Now, when electron is bombarded with very short wavelength of light, what happens is it gains energy and it starts vibrating. So, the exact velocity of an electron cannot be found. Moreover, by our previous discussion, it is clear that electrons do not move in definite orbits. So, a scientist called Erwin Schrödinger, he said that they do not move in a definite orbits, but you can take a space around the nucleus in which you can find the electron. This is called orbital. What is an orbital? Orbital is nothing but it is the space around the nucleus where you can find where there is maximum chance of finding an electron. So this shows that atom cannot have a definite boundary, neither electron moves in a definite path, but you can find an electron in a space around the nucleus which is called orbital. Now, in order to find the exact position, in order to find the location of the electron, four quantum numbers have been introduced. First one is principal quantum number. Second one is angular momentum quantum number. Third one is magnetic quantum number. Fourth one is spin quantum number. Just like, suppose if you have to locate the position of your house, you need to give the state, country, state, street number, landmark, pin code and house number. Similarly, in order to find the position of an electron, we need all these four quantum numbers: principal quantum number, angular momentum quantum number, magnetic quantum number and spin quantum number. Let us discuss each of the quantum number in detail. First quantum number that we have is principal quantum number. This principal quantum number is denoted by the small letter n. It shows us about size and energy of the orbit. It gives information about size and energy of the orbit. Now, let us say this is an atom. Now, n will be equal to 1 for first orbit, n will be equal to 2 for second orbit, n will be equal to 3 for third orbit, n is equal to 4 for fourth orbit and so on. Here, the increase in n value indicates the increase in size and energy of the orbit. Now, it can also be represented by K, L, M, N. Least energy is there for K, next is L, next is M and N is orbit of higher energy. As n value increases, the size and energy also increases. So, this is the principal quantum number. This is what the principal quantum number will tell us about, or it can be denoted by K, L, M, N. So, if I say electron is in n is equal to 2, then that means you have to see the second orbit. If electron is there in the third orbit, you have to say n is equal to 3. That is how we consider the principal quantum number. Next you have angular momentum quantum number. Quantum number. It is denoted by L. Now, each orbit is further divided into subshells, 4 types of subshells called S, P, D, F. In the first orbit you have S subshell, in the second orbit you have S and P subshells, in the third orbit you have S, P, D subshells, in the fourth orbit you have S, P, D, F subshells. This is about subshells. For a given n value, L values range from 0 to n minus 1. L values range from 0 to n minus 1. When n is equal to 1, L value is 0. When n is equal to 2, L value is 0 to 1. When n is equal to 3, L values is 0, 1, 2. When n is equal to 4, L values range from 0, 1, 2, 3. So, for the subshells S, P, D, F, L values are 0, 1, 2, 3. That is, in the first shell you have only one subshell, that is S. In the second orbit you have two subshells S and P. In the third orbit you have three subshells S, P, D. In the fourth orbit you have 4 subshells S, P, D, F. It is like you are imagine an apartment in which these are the floors. N is equal to 1, N is equal to 2, N is equal to 3, N is equal to 4 are the floors. Now, these are like individual apartments. In the first floor you have only one apartment. Let us say you have only one apartment. In the second floor, let us say you have 2 apartments. In the third floor there are 3 houses. In the fourth floor there are 4 houses. It is like that. Now, so here L also tells us about shape of the orbital. Now, let us discuss about the third quantum number called magnetic quantum number denoted by ML. For a given n value, for a given L value, you have 2L plus 1 orbitals, or it takes values from magnetic momentum quantum number takes values from minus L to plus L including 0. For L is equal to 0, you have 0 m values as 0. For L is equal to 1, you have minus 1, 0, 1 as the values of m. For L is equal to 2, you have minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2. For L is equal to 3, you have values minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. These are the values of the orbitals present in the subshell. In the S subshell, you have only one orbital. In P subshell, you have 3 orbitals. This is P. In D subshell, you have 5 orbitals. In F subshell, you have 7 orbitals. It is like that. S, P, D and F. So these are the orbitals present in the subshells. When S is 0, when L value is 0 for S, you have only one orbital. Now when L value is 1, you have 3 orbitals minus 1 whose numbers are minus 1, 0, 1. When L value is 2, you have 5, that is minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2. Minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes. When L is equal to 3, you have minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3 as the orbitals. Now, here S has got 1 orbital, P has got 3 orbitals like this. P has got 3 orbitals, D has got 5 orbitals and F has got 7 orbitals. The picture I will give you is like this. S has got only 1, P has got 3 orbitals, Px, Py, Pz, Spd, Spd. D has got 5 orbitals like this. This is P and this is D. Next, SPDF. F has got 7 orbitals. 7. In each orbitals you can fit 2 electrons. So the total number of electrons in S subshell is 2. In total number of electrons in P subshell is 6. Total number of electrons in D subshell is 10. Total number of electrons in F subshell is 14. This is how the subshells are distributed around the nucleus. I told you in a particular orbit you can have 2 electrons. Spin, next quantum number that you have is spin quantum number. Spin quantum number tells us about the orientation of the electron. Now, I told you you can have maximum of 2 electrons in an orbital. These 2 electrons, if one spins in the clockwise direction, another spins in the anti-clockwise direction. One spins in the clockwise direction, another spins in the anti-clockwise direction. Let us say one electron is spinning like this around the nucleus. Other electrons will be spinning in the opposite direction around the nucleus. That is what is spin quantum number. It is denoted by ms. So the spin quantum number tells us about the spin of the electron. These are about the 4 quantum numbers that we have discussed. They tell us about the position, spin, size and orientation, size, energy and orientation of the electrons. In the next class we shall discuss about shapes of the orbitals and some more rules. So that's all for today's class, children. We shall continue in the next class.